Did you know that studies suggest up to 6% of the population might have narcissistic personality disorder? This may seem low, but it translates to millions of people. Even more alarming is the fact that many narcissists go undiagnosed. They often appear charming and confident, masking their true nature. However, behind this facade lies a destructive force that can wreak havoc on relationships. Narcissism is a silent epidemic, quietly poisoning the well of human connection. It is a disorder characterized by an inflated sense of self-importance, a deep need for admiration, and a lack of empathy. The impact of this disorder on relationships is profound, often leaving a trail of emotional devastation in its wake. Narcissism is a complex personality disorder. It exists on a spectrum, ranging from healthy self-confidence to a pathological need for attention and admiration. At its core, narcissism is a defense mechanism. It is a fragile ego's way of protecting itself from feelings of inadequacy and insecurity. Narcissists crave attention and validation. They often exaggerate their accomplishments and talents, seeking constant praise and recognition. They lack empathy, unable to truly understand or care about the feelings of others. This lack of empathy allows them to manipulate and exploit those around them without remorse. Recognizing a narcissist can be challenging, especially in the early stages of a relationship. They can be extremely charming and charismatic, making it easy to fall prey to their manipulative tactics. However, over time, their true colors begin to show. Narcissists are masters of manipulation. They use a variety of tactics to control and exploit others, often leaving their victims feeling confused, drained, and emotionally depleted. One common tactic is gaslighting, a form of psychological manipulation in which the narcissist denies reality, making their victim question their own sanity. Another weapon in their arsenal is projection. They project their own flaws and insecurities onto others, shifting blame and avoiding responsibility for their actions. They are experts at playing the victim, often portraying themselves as misunderstood or unfairly treated. This manipulation creates a toxic dynamic within relationships. Victims often feel like they are walking on eggshells, constantly trying to please the narcissist and avoid their wrath. Section 4: Scars of Narcissism, Real-Life Wounds. The impact of narcissistic abuse is far-reaching, leaving deep emotional scars on its victims. Let's look at Sarah's story. Sarah was in a relationship with a narcissist for 5 years. He constantly belittled her, making her doubt her own worth. He isolated her from her friends and family, making her dependent on him for emotional support. By the end of the relationship, Sarah was a shell of her former self. She was anxious, depressed, and had lost all sense of self-esteem. This is a common experience for victims of narcissistic abuse. They often struggle with low self-worth, anxiety, depression, and PTSD. Narcissism doesn't just poison personal relationships, it can also wreak havoc in professional settings. A narcissistic boss can create a toxic work environment, leading to decreased morale, productivity, and high turnover. Section 5. The breaking point, a moment of truth. For many victims of narcissistic abuse, there comes a breaking point, a moment of clarity when they realize the extent of the damage being done. This was the case for John, who worked under a narcissistic boss for 3 years. His boss constantly took credit for John's work, micromanaged him, and belittled him in front of his colleagues. One day, after being publicly humiliated by his boss, John decided it was enough. He realized that his boss's behavior was not a reflection of his own worth, but rather a symptom of his boss's own deep insecurities. This realization was a turning point for John. He decided to prioritize his mental health and well-being. This moment of truth can be incredibly empowering. It marks the beginning of the journey back to oneself. It is the moment when the victim realizes they deserve to be treated with respect and dignity. Section 6: Narcissism, a destroyer of worlds. Narcissism is a destructive force in relationships. It is a silent killer of love, trust, and intimacy. It thrives on control and manipulation, leaving its victims feeling emotionally drained and broken. Recognizing the signs of narcissism is crucial. Understanding the tactics used by narcissists is essential for protecting oneself from their manipulation. Education is key in combating this silent epidemic. The more we understand about narcissism, the better equipped we are to identify it, protect ourselves, and support those who have been affected by it. The damage inflicted by narcissistic abuse is real and lasting. It is important to remember that healing is possible. Section 7. Reclaiming your power, a journey of healing. Breaking free from the clutches of a narcissist is a challenging but necessary step towards healing. It is a journey that requires courage, self-compassion, and a strong support system. Therapy can play a vital role in this process. A therapist can provide a safe and supportive space for victims to process their experiences, rebuild their self-esteem, and develop healthy coping mechanisms. Remember, you are not alone. Millions of people have been affected by narcissism. There are resources available to help you heal and reclaim your life. Take it one day at a time and remember to be kind to yourself. Healing is not linear. There will be good days and bad days. But with time, support, and self-love, you can break free from the shadow of narcissism and create a brighter future for yourself.